Hey, 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 happy Saturday morning, everyone. Welcome to another chocolate for breakfast. Yay, yay. You guys, I'm running out of recipes, and so I would love it if you sent me some. I mean, not really, there's a lack of chocolate recipes on the internet, but I'm really looking for some really yummy ones. And like I said, I feel like I'm getting better in choosing them. And maybe it's just that I'm making more and more stuff, but I welcome you all to please send me some chocolate recipes. So here we go. Every Saturday morning, I make a new chocolate recipe to eat in the morning because chocolate is yummy and we should have it first thing in the morning, not wait till dessert or before we go to bed. Let's have it first thing and enjoy all the benefits of chocolate. It's the food of the gods, y'all. And so if you happen to be joining me live, I would love it if you said hello in the chat box. Tell me anything. Tell me whatever you're eating this morning. Tell me if you have a favorite chocolate recipe. Tell me if you have a favorite chocolate. And every Saturday I talk about 3 things that I'm celebrating. And so if you would like to do the same, I'd love to share it with my viewers, what everyone else is celebrating too, because the more things we celebrate, the more things that come to us to celebrate, and we might as well celebrate with things that we love, with pleasure and happiness and joy, and chocolate is a great way to do that. So this is my little ritual. So I'd love to share with you guys. So let's see. The first thing I always do is talk about the recipe that I made. So today I made these nutmeg cake donuts. Now they're supposed to be made in a cake donut pan, and I do not have such a thing. So what I did was I used a whoopie pan instead. If you've ever made like a whoopie pie, that's what these are, or moon pies they're called. Because in fact, the recipe that I made, the gal actually suggested that you use this mini muffin pan instead of the donut cake pan. So they have these cake pans that look like little donut holes, or donuts actually. They're like little mini donuts you can make cake donuts in. And she's actually suggested, because she felt like she overcooked them too quickly. And so she suggested using a mini muffin pan. And I thought, well, I'm just gonna use my whoopie muffin pan. And the other thing you can kind of use the whoopie pan for, by the way, is to make some whoopie. No, I'm just kidding. What you can do is you can put like a muffin mix in them, and it kind of almost creates like a muffin top. So if you're one of those people that like the crunchy muffin tops, you don't like the whole muffin, that's a really great way to do it. And so actually this recipe is kind of muffinish. It's kind of between a muffin and a cake. And so I'm really anxious to try it. So one of the things that they said was, I got it from one of my favorite blogs called Love and Lemons. And one of the reasons why I found this blog and found this, these people, is that they have a really awesome vegetarian cookbook. And I think I just talked about this last week on my chat with Lily, because she has been trying more vegetable recipes, and they're kind of a vegetarian cookbook and vegetarian blog. So but even if you don't eat vegetarian, like the recipes in there are so good, and you can find some really great vegetable recipes to have on the side, and everything feels so like sort of gourmet-ish and delectable, and you feel like you're eating this, a decadent meal that's just gorgeous. Like they just do a really good job of adding like the perfect amount of flavors and not too many ingredients, and really easy to make. So it's really great. Oh, I see someone's here in the chat box. Hey, Sherry, welcome, welcome. She said she made zucchini chocolate muffins. And let's see, one way to get the grandkids to eat zucchini. Absolutely. I totally agree. And of course, the zucchini is from the garden. Yes. I'm curious, Sherry, you talked about this last week, how you get a lot of your food from the garden. I'm curious if you still have like vegetables in your garden. Like I pulled all mine out. So here in the Northwest, we do tend to get vegetables. Like I had tomatoes growing all the way through November almost. A lot of them were split though, because as it starts to get wet, they're not as pretty, but I was getting them through mid-November. So I'm curious, or if you just have a bunch of stuff that you pick and they stay fresh, or if you freeze them, maybe. I'm curious. I had a friend who was like part of a family of like 6 people, I think. And so her mom grew this amazing vegetable garden in their backyard because she wanted to help make her budget go further. And then she was later featured, like not even that long ago. So way, into our, my friend's adulthood, she was featured in the local paper because her garden has gotten so gorgeous, and not just vegetable garden, but flowers and everything. And you should have seen this thing. It looked like a garden you would see in a mansion. She likes, you know, that was obviously how she spent all of her time, and her hobby was out gardening. So anyway, I love zucchini bread, and I just add a little cocoa to it, and it makes a chocolate zucchini bread, right? It's so good. It's delicious. So what I did was today I used this Divine Cocoa. I've used it before, and it's probably one of my favorites. It's really, really good. They also make chocolate bars, just regular chocolate bars, and they also have baking chocolate bars that you can use too. And I kind of feel like it's a smaller container. It's got this gold seal lettering on it. It's kind of like this, you know, I kind of feel like it's a little extra special. So I wanted to, you know, make a recipe that kind of felt extra special to me. So the Love and Lemons recipe that they use, they, because they're so healthy and vegetarian, they suggest that you can use things like coconut milk or coconut flour, almond flour. So they actually made this recipe with almond flour. But they said, hey, you can use whatever milk, whatever flour you want to use. So if you don't have those restrictions, it might be, you know, it might turn out differently. So I thought it would be kind of fun to try different flours. And we've had some coconut flour in our pantry for a while. And so I kind of used a mix of coconut flour and rice flour and regular flour. So it's not completely gluten-free. But I thought, you know, let's give it a mix and see how it turns out. And it really kind of puffed up. It was kind of like a muffin, the way it bakes. Like it's sort of like, or like a bread, almost like a banana bread. Like, you know, when you put banana bread batter in the loaf pan, it kind of still has a little bit of that shape, even though it puffs up, it has that, you know, kind of uneven shape on the top. That's how these guys turned out. So here is what they look like. They almost look like little mini cookies because they're so thin. And a typical whoopie pie, you take 2 halves, right? And you put like frosting or whatever in the middle. And then then you have like a little moon pie or whoopie pie. But I just kind of don't want a whole lot at once. So like this, for me, it's just perfect. So I just put the frosting on top. And they actually had a glaze recipe if you want to just use like, you know, like your typical, you know, donut glaze, like the powdered sugar and milk, you can do that. I decided to put just a really thin layer of frosting on it. And I used this Miss Jones chocolate frosting. So just a thin layer of that. So here we go. I'm gonna give it a try and tell you how you guys turned out. Oh my God. Hell yes, this is freaking amazing. Oh my God, this is so good, you guys. It's the perfect, like, it is a little bit like a muffin or a cupcake kind of almost consistency. And, oh wow. The nutmeg in it is really, really delicious. It's so good. Oh my God, so good. So just making sure I have my oven off because I was melting the frosting. One thing about this frosting is it needs just a little, it's like kind of hard. So it needs just a little bit of warming up to make it a little bit more spreadable. So that's really awesome. So, so let's get to the celebrations. And Sherry, if you want to share with me what you're celebrating today, I would love it. If anyone happens to join me in the live, please do say hello. Tell me what you're celebrating. And if you watch us on the replay, what you're celebrating. So I would love that. Please, please do. So the first thing I'm celebrating today is I am celebrating truth. So I totally feel like speaking your truth is so powerful, and kind of recognizing and being aware of the truth is so powerful. We're able to speak our truth, that we would all feel so much better in life. So I think truth is something that I have been really coming to the last couple weeks, and I feel like it's important to really look at the truth, be honest with yourself. If you're upset with somebody, tell them. If you're loving somebody, tell them, right? Tell your truth, whatever it is. And even if it's hard to say out loud to yourself, maybe it's something you can write down first. You know, I think that also sometimes helps us process how we're feeling about things. And then we can speak it out loud, whether it's to ourselves or, you know, yelling into a pillow, or being able to tell a friend or a loved one or you know, maybe a boss or whoever it is in your life that you want to tell the truth to. And also telling your truth, right? Like you know, what's your experience? I think that is the most important thing. And I just was listening to one of my favorite podcasters, James Altucher, as I always do. And he was reviewing his year of he had his 300th episode. So he was reviewing some of his favorite podcasts he's done. And he reviewed one he did with Max Tucker. And and I had heard it before, but it was really cool to hear the clip that he played. And Max was also talking about his truth. And the way he was talking about it, which I really loved, was when you are a writer and you're expressing yourself, in whatever creative expression that might be. It might be dancing, it might be, painting, whatever it is. Like, he was talking about how you should tell your truth in your own way. Like, you tell your truth. And what happens a lot of times is when we want to be good at something, when we want to be a good dancer or a good painter or a good writer, right? Sometimes we try and emulate other people. And I think it's good sometimes to take pieces of what you admire in other people. But what he was saying is, like, don't be a copycat. Like, don't just try and be Tux Mac, Matt. Okay, now I'm forgetting his name already. Tucker Max. Don't try and be him, right? Don't try and do the exact same thing he did, because it's not going to work. What you need to do is speak your own truth, express your own self in whatever creative expressions you're making. And I really loved that, because it made me really think about my writing and my dancing and how I can bring myself to it. And obviously it's good to see what people are doing, but then be able to kind of translate that with your own truth. So anyway, that was the first thing I'm celebrating this week, and that kept coming. It was kind of a theme that's been coming up the last week a lot. So I thought that was really cool. I see somebody else here is in the chat box, I think. J-Ryze, hey, welcome, Jay. I'm glad to see you here, and a bummer that YouTube didn't notify you. It's funny because one of the things I've noticed is YouTube is better at notifying people after when I schedule it ahead of time, and then I go live and I kind of wait a couple minutes before I actually, I hit the, I'm ready to go broadcast, but then I don't actually go live for a couple minutes. And I feel like that's what's worked in the past, so that's what I did today. But every once in a while, YouTube does whatever it wants, right? But for those of you who are not getting notified and you want to be, I think you have to click on the bell sign in order to get that notification whenever I go live. And I can't remember how that works exactly, but maybe what I'll do is figure that out, put it in the description below, and then I'll talk about that more often, because obviously I would love it if people joined me live. So good stuff. So the second thing I'm celebrating today is I am celebrating decisions. I think it's so powerful to be able to make decisions, and the decisions we make in our life guide us to where we're going. And sometimes those of us who have put off making decisions, what that does is it leaves you in limbo land, right? And I think we sometimes do that because we are afraid of, like, we might miss out. We can't quite decide which one's better, right? And we're afraid we're making a mistake. And the thing is that make the decision that you really want to make. Make the decision you want to make at that moment, because you can always change your mind, right? You can say no to this program, or no to this event you were invited to, no to this whatever, and you can say yes later. And even if the opportunity is gone, there'll be other opportunities that will come along that might even be better. And so one of the things that I've been trying to do, that I am doing right now, is looking at my time and what it is that I want to spend my time on, and saying no to those things that I don't want to, and saying yes that I do, and making sure that I am really making the decisions to do things that I really want to do. And sometimes I'm like afraid I might miss out on this other thing, or I might not have that opportunity or whatever. But it's better to make that decision, like, rather than having it weigh on you, especially if there is a decision that's been weighing on you. Like, make that decision, do that thing, and you can always change your mind. You always can, no matter what, even if it's not the exact same thing. And maybe you miss out on something, but that's okay, because at least right? You are more aware of what you want to make a decision about. So decisions are the second thing I'm celebrating. And then the third thing I'm celebrating today is, what am I celebrating today? Adventure. I'm celebrating adventure, because I want this to be a year full of adventure, to try all kinds of new things, try new things on this channel. I'm going on an adventure later this week. I'm going to the Powerful Living Experience in Florida, run by David Bear. And so I'm excited about all the adventures that are ahead this year and this week. Adventure is exciting. So that's what I'm celebrating. Let's see what you guys are celebrating in the chat box. I love it. I love it. So let's see. J-Ryze says he is celebrating Shonda Rhimes. I love it. Me too. I've been watching more and more of her masterclass. It's so good. And I think, Jay, you told me you were watching Grey's Anatomy. So that must be why you're celebrating Shonda, because she's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I mean, that's just funny, because you know, I've always admired her and loved her, but like watching her explain, you know, her pilot, she's in masterclass, what she does is she goes through and talks about how she wrote the pilots for Scandal and Grey's Anatomy. And it's just it's amazing to hear like why she did what she did and how she did what she did. And it's really cool. So anyway, love Shonda. You're celebrating your valuable new business. Yay. I'm so excited for you, Jay. And you're celebrating sites that help people connect, like OkCupid or Tinder. Awesome. I love it. I love new connections and ways to connect with new people. So yay for that. I feel like there might be stories behind that I want to know. So anyway, good stuff. And Sherry said, going back to our earlier discussion about gardens, Sherry said that she does freeze a lot of vegetables. Both her freezers are full. And you have a cayenne dragon pepper that's very cute. And I grew one of those one year, and those are super spicy. And you brought it inside, and so it's actually growing inside. How cool is that? I bet it's really pretty inside. That's a great flipping idea. I love that idea of putting the pepper outside to let it grow for the summer and then bring it inside, because we have this amazing window right here that's over our sink, and it's a great place to grow herbs and stuff, which I've done in the past, but like you have to spend the time to maintain them. But a pepper plant would be pretty simple, I think. So that's a cool idea. So Sherry is celebrating a warm garage. Yay! You've been putting stuff in there, right? And you've been insulating your attic and adding a floor in your attic above your garage. Oh, that's awesome. So you've done it all by yourself. That's amazing, Sherry. I'm not surprised though, because you're very resourceful. So that's really cool. And Sherry is celebrating happiness. She's going to look positive in each day and be happy. I love it. Love it. And she's celebrating YouTube, and she's learned a lot of stuff, remodeling, woodworking, and most important, her Adobe products Premiere to edit your professional videos. Yay! I love it. I've been wanting to see your videos, Sherry, so I'm excited to see how they turned out. And Jason, he also learned a lot from Adobe, and he did his, that video you did, Jay, was amazing. So we took one of the videos, the Simon Sinek videos of Evan's, and then kind of redid it with a little bit more special effects. And it's really, it's the bomb, Jay. It's like, I actually went just to compare the other one. And the other one's great too. I mean, obviously had the meat of it is in the other one, but the new one that Jay did is so cool. It's got these really cool effects of Evan kind of fading in the background. The music makes it feel like a freaking movie. I love that. It makes it feel so much more epic. It's amazing what music can do. So anyway, that's really cool. And Sherry says she can't eat the peppers, but they're cute. Right, I'm the same. I can't eat them either. I mean, what I'll do sometimes is I'll take a pepper and like cut it and then put it like in a soup or something like that, and then let it simmer in there and then take it out so it doesn't get too spicy in the soup. And then also, if someone ate it accidentally, oh my God, it might be bad if they weren't prepared like Gary is for you. Anyway, I love it. And then Sherry and Jay are also saying they love stories, and they've been telling a lot of stories lately. And Sherry's daughter told her to glue one of your GoPros to your chest and just turn it on. That's freaking brilliant. Of course you should do that, because you're skiing all the time, Sherry. That would be really, really cool. And you can make videos about that so easily. I mean, that's the kind of cool footage you can like always put it into your videos later too. Like, it doesn't have to even be just in one video. You can take a bunch of footage of you out skiing and then like use it later for different things. I love it. That's really cool. Yeah, selfie drone is a cool idea. I've been wanting to get a selfie drone. I think that'd be really cool. I also really love those. I think I might have to get one and then do a footage review on it. One of those cool, like they hold your phone like on the countertop and then they kind of follow you. So for example, in this broadcast, I could be walking around a little bit more and it would follow me. I could walk around on my kitchen and the phone camera could follow me as I'm broadcasting. So anyway, I think that'd be really cool. And there may not be a next one unless it's shared highly. Oh, gotcha. You're talking about the videos because Sherry was looking forward to the next one. Yeah, I know. I mean, I think you did such a good job with that, Jay. I have definitely been fascinated with editing videos lately because, I want to do some new cool things with my channel. And that means it would require me to take some time on some editing, I think. And just, you know, some rethinking, you know, what I'm filming, because even if I didn't do the editing, I still would need to come up with cool footage and cool content that someone else then could edit. But anyway, either way, I love it. But yeah, it took Jay forever to do that video. He said it took him a month of 16-hour days, apps, songs, an insane amount of work. I love it. Oh, and Jay's asking what's on my shirt. It is a, it's just an Adidas logo. Woohoo! You know, us dancers, we love to, you know, to wear our favorite gear. And right now, Adidas is all the rage. What's kind of funny is, you know, obviously we are here in Nike Town, right? Because this is the town where Phil Knight built Nike. And so Nike's always been popular forever. But Adidas, there's also has a headquarters here as well. It's not their main headquarters, but I forget, it's one of their big ones. And so it's kind of like the battle of the sportswear. And with dancers, like all of a sudden Adidas just blown up. My brother-in-law used to work for this company that would sell Adidas gear to coaches and things like that at a discount. So they're kind of like a wholesale company for Adidas. So I used to get all kinds of free gear from them, like tons of free stuff. And it was mostly running stuff because they knew I loved to run. And so I have so much, like I have way more Adidas gear than I had Nike gear just because of that. I mean, I have a million. In fact, I'm on my last pair of shoes, and it's been like 5 years since he's worked there. And he used to give me pairs of shoes because my feet are the exact same size as the main sample size. And so he would give me running shoes all the time. And I'm on my very last pair right now. And when those run out, man, I'm going to have to actually buck up and pay for some running shoes. Good thing I only run once in a while. I run like maybe twice a week now because I'm just dancing so much more. I used to run every single day, like 5 to 6 days a week. And now it's like a couple days. So the shoes will probably last me a year rather than just like 6 months. So that's good stuff. Anyway, and Jay is saying logos on boobs get attention. That's true. They do. Lucky Adidas. That's hilarious. And let's see what else. Sherry was saying she thought it was something else. What did you think it was, Sherry? I love it. You thought it was weird. That's so funny. I'm so curious what you guys thought it was. Maybe you thought it looked like a plant of some kind. I don't know. I feel like if you know the Adidas logo, you might have already known what it was, but maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, I'm so glad you guys joined me. It's such a blast to have my chocolate breakfast in the morning with my viewers. So it's not nearly the same when you guys aren't here. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And thank you for celebrating with me. And those of you who happen to watch this on the replay, please do share in the comments below what you are celebrating this week and what chocolate or whatever other pleasure you're enjoying it with. And I'll put all the links of all the stuff that we're talking about in the description below. So including that video that Jay did, the Simon Sinek video. It's so good. So I highly recommend you guys go watch that. And Sherry, keep us posted on your videos because I can't wait to put those links in my description soon. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Happy Saturday. Bye.